Hey, y'all. I bet you're wondering why we were live, but I wasn't here. We're trying to work on Ken's um, computer. Unfortunately, we didn't have any luck. Carla, good evening. And hi, Lisa's here from Sugarland, Texas. Geraldine from Mill Creek, Washington. Welcome. Debbie from Bloomington, Illinois, and Ronnie from Northeastern Arizona. Welcome. Good to see you. Um, huh, no, Joy, it's not your iPod. I did not have sound on yet. We needed to be live in order to figure out Ken's computer issue. So I just went live a little early. Okay, Rita's here. Good morning, Rita from Northern Victoria, Australia. And Cactus Deb is here from Glendale. Hopefully it's not 118 today. Linda, my friend from Ravenna, New York. And my Michigander buddy, Linda Lombarda. And let's see who else is here. Lee is here. Jan, you made it. No, you should have sound now, okay? Right, there was nothing to hear yet. You're absolutely right. Rita said it's only 4 degrees in Australia right now. Their winter season is upon them. Okay.
That's Celsius?
No, that's that's Celsius. Yeah. Hi, Nancy. Nancy Blocker is here tonight. Charlene is here. And yes, I know I am here. I hated to confuse you all, but that was the only way we could work on his computer. And unfortunately, we were unable to solve the issue. Betty is here. So if we miss a question or two, please don't be upset. Okay, Jean Brooks from Mount Vernon, Washington. Lee has a test for me. Okay, she asks, where am I from? And you are from Indiana, but the name of the town does not come to mind, Lee. I'm sorry. I know it's a bigger town, though, in Indiana. Hopefully, at least I got all that right. Evelyn, hi from New Haven, Indiana. And Joy is here from New South Wales, Australia. Diana's here from North Carolina. Oh, but thunderstorming all afternoon. We could use some rain here, I think. Ronnie says, hi again.
I do.
And Deb says it's a balmy 107 in Glendale, but feels like 102. But it's a dry heat, right? Oh, Spencerville. Okay, it's a very small. You don't even have a four-way stop. That is pretty small. Even we have that. So tonight, guys, what we're going to do is we're doing circles on quilts, spinning waves. This is our last night with spinning waves, okay? They really are different. I'm going to be honest with you. I've used a couple, but I haven't used all of them. And as I'm doing that, I'm thinking of different ways that we can incorporate things like our starter sampler set and things like that. But I do want to try to keep true to the spinning waves that we're working on. Now, one of the things that's really cool with these is you can go ahead and make different measurements coming out from your center, and that can give a lot of dimension. This first one is spinning wave 10 here. There we go. Want to make sure you can see it. It looks like a tuning fork. Remember the old tuning forks that our music teachers used to have? That's what it looks like to me. And this one is very similar. It's just larger. And I really do like the effect on this one with the secondary designs that come out. And our third one, isn't that cute? It looks like a little chain to me. And it's a chain that's standing straight there. It reminds me of those chain fences that people used to have. That's spinning wave 12. Now, with all these spinning waves that we're doing tonight, we need staple tape on both sides because you can easily see we're going to be turning them and doing them on the same line, different orientation. Okay, so what I need to do next is put my pin in. I'm going to put these guys over here in my ruler caddy. But I'm lost without that thing now. For a while there, I would put it away after I did the shows and take it out for them because it was such a good way to be organized. And I started thinking about it and thought, well, why am I only doing it during the live broadcasts? Do it all the time with anything I'm working on. So it's really kind of cool because what I've got in there right now, I'm just going to show you guys what I got in there right now. I know it looks messy. I was cleaning. What I've got here is these are the templates that I'm using on a different project. These are the templates that I'm using tonight. And if I had more than that, we also have the larger size ruler holder. I don't know what exactly the name is. It's just my brain is not coming up with that. But you can hold a lot more rulers, and it really is very convenient. Now, Janice, I am starting with a full bobbin tonight. Okay. This, for those of you who weren't here last week, I just want to go over these markings a little bit with you. What you're going to have is this will be the marking that goes on the reference line that you're working on. So when I put this pin in, this line is going to line up. Now, what is kind of weird about this is the size of the template. Normally, what we say is our templates are half the finished size, but this one isn't. This is the only one that I know that actually is not. This template is 9.5 inches from pin to edge. And it says spinning wave 10 works good on a 12-inch block with a 2-inch center. So that means that it's going to be 14 inches when it's done. Obviously, I don't have enough fabric here tonight, but that's okay because each one of these can be cut short. And lining up these lines on the diagonal here are going to line up with our reference line 2 and our reference line 3, reference line 4, 5, etc., etc. So all of these line up. Every other one has an arrow except for this one. I don't know why. So I'm going to go ahead. I've got this all lined up. I've got my, I'm going to take that off a minute because I want to do this first. What I'm going to do is I want these all to be even. So I'm going to make a mark right here, which is 6 inches from the center. I know my ruler reads 7 here, but the reason it reads 7 is because I don't ever like to start on this edge of the ruler. It's too easy to get it off a little bit. But by starting on the number 1, what I can do is have a much cleaner 6 inches from the center. Okay. Now, oh, there we go. I was off. So number 7 and number 7. I'm not gonna go all the way around. I think I'm just gonna go halfway around with this guy.
Something doesn't look right.
Okay. Ken says something doesn't look right. Huh?
Double check those. One, you were half in. They look like,
Pardon me? Ken?
they look like you were a half inch off on one of them.
Oh, he said the measurements I don't look right. You said I was a half an inch off on one. So we're gonna just double check these guys. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Yep. Yeah, it's okay. He went to the eye doctor today. So you know how that is. Makes your eyes go goofy. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and line this up. Monica, see you from Durand, Illinois. Welcome, Monica. And Jan Snyder from Bend, Oregon. Oh, good. Jan says she's never used these rulers. So she's really excited to see them in action. And Carla has the 12 and uses it like sun rays. That's the nice thing about these. You can use them in a lot of different ways. Okay, let's get to that. Now, what you will remember is like when we do a lot of the spinning things and we have the 2-inch circle, a lot of times I like to go in and just stitch that 2-inch circle to make it easier to be accurate when I am traveling from one reference line to another. And oh goodness, today is going to be a day of what am I doing wrong, right? Okay, there we go. There, these should be good now. My bobbin wasn't cooperating. Okay, maybe now it'll be better. Oh yeah, much better. Okay. This is what happens when you do things live. And you know what? It's okay. I know you guys understand. You're all quilters. There we go. All right. So I'm going to stop. Pull this back. I'm going to stop when it hits this 6-inch mark. Now, what you're going to notice is that 6-inch mark is here and my ruler's here. But you know what? I can easily eyeball that. I know you can too. We're quilters. We can do a lot of things. Now, this is an outside curve. Remember, outside curves tend to be a little more difficult than inside curves, but it's not a problem. All you need to do is take your time, keep your hands nice and loose, and don't push your foot against the template, and don't push your template against the foot. And if you do those things, you're going to be just fine. Okay, I need to stop and move my hands because up here I don't have any of the any control left. So here we go. Whoops. There we go. Back to center. Isn't that a beautiful curve? Can you imagine using this with feathers? I think that would be just gorgeous. This curve is just so beautiful. Okay, let's see. Okay, we didn't get anything new in. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stitch on the template over to my next line. Stop. And again, I'm going to stitch out. What I'm doing here is I'm doing everything in one direction first, then coming back and doing the opposite in a second pass. Okay. The reason that I'm doing that this way is so that we can see the outcome if we don't put that second pass in. You know, there's no law saying you have to just because it shows it that way on the picture, right? You can do it any way you want. You might want something that's not quilted quite as heavily. And that way you would definitely only want to do one pass. And look at how pretty that is. You know, these templates never cease to amaze me. When I look at them, like these templates, the spinning waves, I look at them and go, you know, that's okay. It's nice and all, but it really doesn't, it's not spectacular, right? Well, then you start working with it and playing with it, and all of a sudden you realize it is just extremely spectacular. Now, I should have put stable tape right here because you want to have your fingers on both pieces of stable tape. And my hand doesn't work all the way down here. So you see, I've got my thumb here holding things steady and this thumb down here. But the stable tape right here, I think it would be helpful. Okay, slide. Okay, this is our third rotation. And remember, you want to keep your hands where you feel as though you are really in control of the template. Okay, we're going to do one more like this. By the way, that one that I had the problem with the sound last week, I went back and listened to it. Oh my goodness, it sounded like I was in a barrel with helium. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what the issue was with that microphone. I am using a different one tonight, so I hope we can hear well. If somebody would let me know, I would appreciate it. Okay, here we go. So look at this. Oh, you know what? Okay. Hi, Wonderroll. How are you from across town? So good to see you here. I just had an idea. If you came in here and used a wavy ruler of some kind like this,
You can hear it clearly.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. Good. Okay, what does this look like? It just hit me. That looks like a skirt. Somebody who's twirling or dancing in a skirt. I know that's silly, guys. Okay, I'll behave. Here we go. We're going to go to the next line. Now, this section, I'm going to do this just a little bit differently. And personally, I think that doing the opposite ones works better this way. There we go, down. We're going to stop at that mark. And if it's not exactly at that mark, it's not the end of the world. I like to improvise. So I kind of go, oh, yeah, that works. And then you come across those things. Oh, that doesn't work. We're not going to do it that way. Okay, so now I'm at the top.
Take your time out and put the stable tape on there.
And said, why don't I take time out and put the stable tape on here? That's a good question.
Wonder.
It's working okay. I'm not going, oh, okay, there we go. Got it back in. I got it back in, but look, it's too wide to fit through the throat of my machine. So I got to take it out and put it in like this on this side. Isn't that fun? But now you understand the perils of a small throat in your machine, right? All right. So here we go. We're going to again stop at that 7-inch mark. Okay, so this does remind me of something also. I don't know how many of you at Christmas time always got a bowl of nuts that had to be cracked. And this looks very much like the nutcracker that used to be on the side of the bowl. It actually had a hole in the bowl for the nutcracker and all the picks to stay on. And I'm probably really aging myself by saying that. That and fruit baskets. Those were big things when I was a kid growing up. Fresh fruit was awesome. And now it's so easy to get. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead. I've done one complete design here. And I'm going to come over here and do number 2. Try and stop with my needle down here so I can move things. Okay, there we go. I think this is a great idea. It's a great template if you have large blocks and you don't want to put a lot of heavy quilting in. This is just basic. I'm going to turn it this way. I think this will be easier to stitch this way. There we go. For some reason, it does not want to move. Okay, there we go. So I've got that one in. I'm going to take this out, flip it over, and line it up. And what's going to happen here is, as you can see, with 16 rotations, I'm going to be coming over the edge here. And this is number 10. Yeah. Number 10, it only shows it with 8 rotations, but we're going to get a chance to see it on 16. And what the secondary design is going to look like. That's always fun. Okay, out and now back we're going to go. This is a good skill to have to be able to stitch forwards and backwards and to the left and to the right. Because when you have a big quilt, you're not going to be able to turn it to get all of those 16, 8 or 16 or 24 rotations, whatever you use, and turn it so that it's always stitching in the same direction. So when you practice, go ahead and practice stitching forwards and backwards and side to side as well, because some templates really do work better if you're able to stitch them side to side. These are skills that will stay with you. And they're just good skills to have. And those skills, remember, this is guided free motion that we're doing here. Okay. And these skills can, if you want to make that leap into free motion quilting, these skills are going to help you immensely in that. Yeah, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to flip it over. And if you really wanted to, what you could do is do all of them in one rotation in one direction, then come back and do all of them again with the other direction. There is nothing wrong with doing it that way. What will happen is you will have a double stitched circle in the center, which isn't a big deal because everything else is double stitched. Okay, there we go. Move my hand and come back. Again, I really can't emphasize enough how important the skill is to be able to stitch with a template in every direction. A good time to do stuff like this is to practice is like between projects. I know that's laughable. Um, or with your morning coffee before you get going for the day, or in the evening. This can, you're doing enough stitching can actually sedate you if you do it really slow and methodical. I know there's been times when I've caught myself going, oh my goodness, if I'm not careful, I'm going to fall asleep right here at my sewing machine. I feel so relaxed. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and head back up. And I got off of my line. No worry. I'm just going to go ahead and correct it. And we'll take a look in a minute as to what it looks like. It's not that bad. And this is a practice piece. So what that tells me is I really do need that extra stable tape there. And Ken kind of admonished me here a minute ago. He said, why don't you just stop and put it on? It's just one piece of stable tape. And really it is. And really I should. Okay, we're going to do one more of these. There we go. We're going to use that 7-inch again. And now back to center, going backwards. Could you turn this block around to practice block? Absolutely, you can. It's small enough. But if you're doing this on a quilt project, it's going to be too big. And that's where this skill comes in handy. Okay. So that's the double stitch back and forth. Oh, Kathy. Hi. Kathy Rodriguez is here to join us. Good to see you, Kathy. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have to read these comments because they look interesting. Okay. So again, I'm going to come up to the center. Why is that not being at the center? I don't know. Okay, there we go. I'm going to come over here because what I want to do is I just kind of want to show you a couple things that we can do. I come to this reference line. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to move my template into place. I am going to stop when my needle hits the reference line. Okay? Stop, needle down. I'm going to pick up my reference line. And I'll go this way. And I'm going to put it in the opposite direction. Everything should line up. So let's take a look at what we're looking to line up. This straight line here and this arrow line should be on that reference line. And here we go. We're going to come back to the top. Now, if you want to make a flower out of it, what I would do is I would travel over to the next one, move my template. Let me go ahead and turn it around because I want you to see what I'm doing. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop when my needle gets on this reference line. Oops, there we go. Right there. So now I'm going to come back over this way. And my reference line should line. Well, I didn't flip the template, silly girl. Okay. I want to do it this way so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So my reference line lines up. There we go. If you don't want these petals to touch, you would skip one reference line. You'd only put 8 in instead of the 16 like I have. I'm going to go to the next line, the next reference line. Again, I'm going to stitch down until my needle comes on the reference line. Then I'm going to stop with my needle down. I'm going to come in here, flip my template. And I'm going to come back up. I'm going to do one more like this, and then we're going to move on to another template. And put this first line on my reference line. And there we go, right on that reference line. I want to go like this. No, I want to go like this. I'm confusing myself, guys. But I've never done that before, have I? Lee, no comments. Okay. Oh, David's here. Welcome. And Cynthia's here from Shawano. Welcome, Cynthia. Good to see you, and you as well, Dave. Okay, and off we're going to go. And there we go. Now, if you want something a little heavier around here, you can easily stitch back over it, keeping those stitches small. And you see how much more circular this looks. It doesn't look quite as choppy. Okay. So this is, why is my bobbin thread giving me so much trouble tonight, I wonder? I got two threads here. Okay, now we're good. Interesting. So this is the Spinning Wave 10. And as you see here, it does afford us a lot of different opportunities. I really like it, to be honest with you. I've not used it much, although I have used it. I think I'm seeing more possibilities with this one.
Did you see that question from Yuri?
No, I didn't.
Interesting comment that I wanted to clarify. You put the stable tape where the fingers are going to be on the rope.
Okay, I'm gonna back up.
So 906.
You said it was Joey?
Yeah, Joey Orange. You just made an interesting comment.
Okay, let's take a look at it. Ouch, I just stuck myself with the tack. You made an interesting comment that I wanted to clarify. Do you put stable tape where your fingers are going to be on the ruler? Joey, yes. That is where we want our stable tape. So that is why on this particular one, what I'm going to do, because as I was doing it and you were watching, I had my fingers, my hand like this, and then I would move it down like this. And I didn't have stable tape here, but I should have. And that's when Ken said, well, why don't you just stop and put it on? Good advice. For me being me, you know.
It was my idea, so it wasn't good.
Ken said it was his idea, so it wasn't good. Not true, but anyway. So here, what I'll have here now, and these you do on stable tape on both sides. So I will come here, and then I will come here, and then if my block is big enough, I'll come here. So I've got my fingers over my stable tape. To me, that is the best way of doing it. When I first got the templates, if I got like, oh, here, this is a good example. I would put 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, like that. But now, since I've come a long way, obviously, I know that I'm not holding this template like this. I'm holding my template like this. And so I have changed where I keep my stable tape to better give me the traction that I need to do my ruler work just a little bit better. So Joey, I hope that answers your question. And it's a good one. And it is a good one. And it's a lot. it's a good idea that we sometimes just go through and reinforce or review those things. Okay, our family wasn't the only one with a nut ball. Oh my goodness, yeah. Hi, Joyce, good to see you. Debbie says she likes the flower. Isn't that pretty? I think I like to make a flower out of any template that I touch. What is wrong?
Trying to get my attention for some reason.
Hmm.
What do you want? You got it well said.
Oh, there's a bag of goodies up there. Yeah. Whenever I do a live, Tippy gets goodies. and, and Ken isn't cooperating.
What do you want?
Oh no, we're getting the peanut gallery involved over here too. I guess the hooligans, Tippy and Ken, are going to leave. We'll see you later, honey. Thanks for coming up. Okay, so let's take a look at number 11. Number 11 is just very, very similar to number 10. Where did I put my number 10? There it is. Very similar to number 10. This one's number 10. And this is number 11. So what you're seeing is the difference is that this arc is longer and shorter, but longer and it's not as high. Okay. This is much more exaggerated here. So let's go ahead and put number 11 on. Let's make a couple rotations with it. I'm not going to do a whole lot with this one because we already did it with the spinning wave 10. The 11 is a very similar one. So let's take a look at how it's going to look, okay? I'll come here. This will be my reference line number 1. I'll put my foot down, pull my thread up. There we go. Again, I'm going to line up here on that first line. This line and this line work as well. And here we go. 1 stitch in place. Oh, I did not mark this one. So I'll just go out as far as I think is workable. And this is another one. I should have a stable tape right here. Very nice. Nice arc, easy to maneuver. Isn't that beautiful? Boy, that just stitches out absolutely beautifully. Now I'm going to flip it over. There we go. And back. Line this line up. I can already tell you what I'm thinking this is going to remind me of. and back to center. Okay, so on this one, what I want to do is add a little embellishment. So I'm going to come back to center here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist my template backwards. Okay. I'm going to get my 16 gauge out here. If I want it to be consistent across the whole design, I need a spacing gauge. So what I'm doing is I'm setting it at a 1/2 inch so that the bulbous part of the template actually grazes the reference line. So let's take a look and see how that's going to be. We're going to have to be careful up here at the top though, because right now we are not on our foot. Okay, but we don't want to be on our, well, yeah, we do want to be on our foot. So what we're going to do is we're just going to travel down until our foot touches the template. And now we're going to go ahead and make an embellishment. You can go as far as you want. I'm going to go to the line and then go back. And I'm going to stop where I started on this one because I'm going to do another one. So I'm turning my template until that hits 2 inches or 1/2 inch, I'm sorry, at the widest part. Again, we're not on the template. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to travel a couple stitches. And that's all it takes is a couple stitches. Okay, and here we go with another one. Make this one just a little bit shorter. And now I can go back up, travel back up if my machine cooperates. There we go. And now I will turn it over and travel. I'll go ahead. I will use that to get to the next reference line. Now, if I were to do this, I would not do it on 16 rotations. I would do it on 8. The reason being is if we do it on 16 rotations, what's going to happen is this is going to encroach on the previous design. And I think it would make it look too muddied up. Too much. Sometimes too much is too much. You know, that's just the way it is. So let's go ahead and do one more like that. And this time I could come out a lot further because I'm on the diagonal. And our diagonal on a square is always longer than the square by 1.414 inches, I believe is the um, number that you have to, yeah, 1.414. So in other words, this is this part, the straight part, times 1.414. And you will get the length. Okay, back up to center. And now we're going to go ahead and move our template. And we're going to line it up here. And all the way back. Move your hands as you need to. When you feel, you're going to feel like you're out of control, and know that this is the point I need to move my hands. So then you'll just stop and move, and everything will be fine. And stop at the very top. Now we're going to rotate. Going to put a 1/2 inch spacing gauge in our largest area here. We're going to take, it's like 1.5 stitches. I come around. I stop when I get to the reference line for the first one. One more. Oh, there we go. And again, I need to 2 stitches, guys. I know you got that. Again, it looks like I stopped on the line, so I'll stop on the line on this one as well. Now, when we get back to the top, we need to travel up those couple of stitches and end up at the top of the fish, and that's where we're at. It reminds me of a fish. Okay, so that is template spinning wave number 11. Okay, and as I said, we don't really need to take a whole lot of time because 10 is very simply like it. Okay, yeah. Debbie said, I see, she's, I see fish as well. Thinks Australia needs to design some fish templates. That's a great idea. Okay, now we're going to take our last one, and I don't see any questions in there. And it is spinning wave number 12. I'm going to move over. Let's put some measuring points on here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at what the width is of these waves. So I'm going to take my template. I'm going to line up this line on a 1-inch mark, and I can see from here to here is 2 inches, but that's not exactly the bottommost point of this wave. And I know that because if this was 2 inches, then this would be a 2-inch wave as well. So it'd be 2 inches here, 4 inches here, 6 inches here. It's not that way. So it's further away than 2 inches. I think it's 2¼ inches. I mean, that's easy to see because here it's 2¼ here is from this point to this point is 2½. And then we've got 2½ to let's pull it up here. Actually, this isn't 2.5. It's 2 and 5/8. Oh, no, it is 2.5. So we go 1, 2 and 1/4. So this is 1, 2 and 1/4. So we end up at, okay, 3/4 on this one, 2 and 3/4. So 2 and 1/4. Then this comes up to the next 2.5 inch mark. This is not how big the waves are. This one comes up to 2 and 3/4 on the template. So it's easy to see that this wave is 2 and 1/4, 2 and 1/4, 2 and 1/4. Okay. So that's how I discern how wide those are. So 2 and 1/4, 4.5. That would be 6 and 3/4, and I don't really have enough for that. So I'm going to go 1, 2 and 1/4, 2.5. Wait, 2 and 1/4, 2.5. I think that's going to be here. Okay. So I'm going to check it out, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Now this is another one of those that you're going to want to stitch twice. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to staple tape on there. And Tippy, no. Enough. Oh my goodness, she really is riled up about something tonight. She normally is a good girl. Okay, so it seems like all of these templates basically wind up the same. Tippy, no. They all have the 2-inch center. And they all will make a large block. And so, okay, now that's enough. Okay, hopefully that will put her barking to rest. Okay, I'm going to come over here. And we're just going to make nice, smooth waves. Now, what I really, really like about this, these are very easy to maneuver, even though they are on the outside. So now when I get to the bottom of this one, I'm going to stop. I have a choice. All right. I can stop and move this template around and come back. That's perfectly acceptable. So what we're going to end up here is a large oval shape where they meet. And they're going to take off into a beautiful oval shape. Isn't that pretty? I would love to do this on a border. I think that is so pretty. And you have all these lines here to do that sort of thing. If I were to take it and go like this, flip it over, go like this, you don't have to put it on a pin. If you want to make a frame out of it, that would be gorgeous. If we have enough time, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to. Okay, so with 16 rotations, if I come here, I'm going to be encroaching on this design. But you know what? it's okay. I want to see what that looks like. If I look at it and go, well, that's yucky, I don't have to do it again, right? Okay. Oh, you guys got really quiet. Okay, so here we go. This is reference line 2 is 16 reference lines. And down we're gonna go, and we're gonna stop right here. Needle down. I'm really liking this, you guys. Okay, there we go. Come in here. Everything lines up, so I know I'm good. And back to the center. Now, if you wanted to do embellishments on this, you certainly could. We would do them the same way that we just did them. I'm just going to twist my template a little bit, come in, and back up. And then I'm going to go back to the center and stitch to the next reference line. So this time, whoops, there we go. This time I'm going to do the right side first, only because I was already there. And I can do it without taking the template off and back on. If you wanted to, you could do all of them in one direction, come back and do the other direction later. Or say you didn't want to do two directions, you could just go like this and back up. There we go. Use your couching foot with some specialty thread. That would be absolutely gorgeous, wouldn't it? Okay, so we've done these front to front, which is this part. Let's do these back to back. And what I'm doing is I'm putting one line. Whoops, I'm going the wrong way. What I'm doing is I'm putting one line of one reference line, and I'm switching out my direction on each one. If I can get the tack, there we go. Okay, so we did this way. I was right the first time. There you go. Yeah, that's the way I wanted it. I confused myself. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch over to the next reference line. Remember, these are 16. If you had 8, it's going to look totally different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing down here. And then we're going to come up. And all the way to the top. And then we're going to move and stitch to the next reference line. That is really cool, isn't it? That's just okay. Let's see if we've got any comments here. Fish bubbles, Joey, that's cute. Fish bubbles. Linda's looking for a paw print template. That's a good one too. It would be cute, Debbie. And I know a lot of us would probably jump on the dog print template. I know I would. Okay. So what I want to do is just a couple side by sides on these, and then we're going to call it a night, okay? Again, I'm keeping you late. Okay, so we're not gonna do anything weird or different. So what I want to do is just go ahead, get to the bottom and stitch back. And up we go. Okay, I'm going to move my template to the next reference line. And back to the center. And do one more line here because I think this is pretty too. Move to the next reference line. This one looks like a skirt too, guys. I'm thinking it does. And all the way back. So that's the way it looks if you're just going to be going from reference line to reference line with 16 points. Now, obviously, 8 points would really spread that out. So unless, the modern quilters, they don't quilt quite as densely as we do. There we go. Got that out. So maybe it would be good designs for modern quilters. So this is spinning wave number 12, spinning wave number 11, and spinning wave number 10 that we looked at tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some ideas. Joyce, I love it. Oh, hi, Kay. Joyce said those look like antlers on an animal. And you know what, Joyce, you're absolutely right. I never noticed it before, but yes, you're right. It does. Tomorrow we are going to be here at 8 a.m. Central Time, and we are going to be looking at the Spin Effects 1. Oh, we finally got through all the Spin Effects. And I'm happy we have, but I think there's more that I want to do with them. So, well, thank you, Lee. Lee said it's interesting and informative, and that's what I'm here for. So if there's something that you all want to see, please don't be afraid to get a hold of me and ask me to do it. I can waver for a night or a morning and do something different. This is not written in stone. Thank you, Cynthia. And Ronnie, thank you. Linda, appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you. So if you want something, I will be happy to do it for you. Absolutely. And that is all I have this week. You're not gonna have to suffer through me any other days this week. Just tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. And I do not have next week's picked out yet. I just haven't had time. So we'll get there. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate it. Oh, Donna says you try using a heart and circles around the top for toes on a dog print. Well, that's really interesting, Donna. If that works. It does. Carly, you have a great evening too. Nuts. I'm sorry you're gonna miss it, Linda. Tomorrow, I love the spin effects. I really do. And Rita, thank you as well. So before I go, I need to remind you to like, subscribe, and share. That always means a lot. If you do both, So Steady YouTube channel and the 906 Quilting channel. And I am in the process of building a new website, so I will let you guys know when it's ready, okay? So until I see you again, happy quilting, of course. And let's all quilt. Good night.